Good morning. Today is the 7th of August, 2026. This is the Defense Force Wars Brief, your daily roundup of the latest defense, intelligence, and international security news. I'm Stuart Webb, and here are today's top stories. There are reports that President Trump clashed with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth after he felt misled about munition availability for the war in Iran. It has been reported for months that munition supplies have been severely diminished due to the Iran war. The clash reportedly took place on the sidelines of a cabinet meeting at Camp David. Trump has retorted that the incident did not take place, and any suggestion of friction between him and Hegseth is treasonous. Moving on to the Middle East, intelligence reports suggest that Iranian proxies are preparing attacks on Saudi Arabia. This would be the Houthi rebels in Yemen and the Iranian-backed militias in Iraq. According to the source, it appears that missiles and drones are being repositioned for simultaneous attacks. The Yemeni government announced that it will respond to the latest Houthi attacks at an appropriate time. Yesterday, the Houthis used ballistic missiles and drones and killed at least 45 Yemeni government troops, targeting armed forces camps and units at Marib and Hadramut. Moving on to the Ukraine-Russia war, Lithuanian military intelligence warns that Russia may use captured Ukrainian drones on NATO in a false flag operation. This would hide who attacked NATO's infrastructure and give Russia some room to say that it was not them. Lithuania has previously warned of possible sabotage attacks and hybrid attacks on critical infrastructure in NATO. Ukraine struck two major oil refineries in Yaroslav and Bashkortostan. This comes as the Russian government authorized the temporary production, import, and sale of low-grade gasoline that was banned more than a decade ago. Known as Euro 2 fuel, it will permit up to 50 times more sulfur than previous requirement. High sulfur concentrations degrade engine components and exhaust systems. Environmental experts also warn that burning lower-grade fuel increases smog and acid rain, exacerbating respiratory conditions such as asthma in urban centers. Ukraine also hit another wild berries logistical center nearly 2,000 kilometers from the front line. There were no reports of injuries, and 800 people were evacuated from the facility. There were reports of a large fire. In Israel, the head of Mossad believed two senior officials who developed an unsuccessful plan to topple the Iranian regime. It was reported that Netanyahu discussed these plans with Trump before the war began at the end of February. These plans did include installing the former hard-right President Ahmadinejad, who is now under some sort of house arrest by the RHGC. In Canada, the government ruled out creating artificial reefs with decommissioned ships. Currently, the government is decommissioning 8 retired Royal Canadian warships, and those ships are being stripped of equipment and hazardous materials. It is not just the Kingston class that will be decommissioned in coming years, but also the Halifax-class frigates and the Victoria-class submarines. This comes after a Canadian submarine torpedoed a decommissioned U.S. warship during RIMPAC to become an artificial reef. Moving on to Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo announced that it will ban the export of copper and cobalt concentrates. The DRC is the largest cobalt producer and the second largest supplier of copper in the world. By banning the export of concentrates, it will bolster the domestic processing and therefore gain higher revenue streams from the mining and the refining of critical minerals. Ugandan MPs voted in favor of deploying soldiers to the Gaza peacekeeping force. The proposed 20,000-strong force will be led by the American Major General Jasper Jeffers. Uganda's decision has been questioned by the opposition over who will fund its commitment and whether there was a quid pro quo with the United States. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan have signed a defense pact in the Saudi city of Mecca. Turkey joined the defense pact already in existence between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, as Turkey becomes an increasingly important player in the Middle East. It's a seemingly natural relationship as Saudi Arabia brings the money, Turkey brings the second largest NATO army, and Pakistan brings nuclear weapons. Both Turkey and Pakistan have a robust military-industrial complex as well. And in Afghanistan, resistance fighters captured a Taliban outpost in Day Salah of the Darab district, following a rocket attack and a gun battle. Resistance fighters seized weapons and equipment. No group has claimed responsibility. And that concludes today's Wars Brief. If you found this useful, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and visit defensepour.com for analysis on these topics and more. And until next time, have a good weekend.